A new report that Republicans are looking to capitalize on crowded Democratic primaries before the midterm elections, hoping that brutal internal battles will end up hurting the party in November. But Democrats say that is wishful thinking, and they'd rather have too much energy heading into the midterms than too little. Let's bring in our power panel. Jeannie Zaino is a political science professor at Iona College, and Steve Lonegan is a former Ted Cruz presidential campaign director for New Jersey. Thanks to both of you for joining us.
Good to be here.
Jeannie, I'll start with you. On the Democratic side, I mean, you look at places like Houston, where you have an activist candidate, Laura Moser, I believe is how you say her name, and she has been battling it out with a more centrist candidate that Democrats feel would be better in a broader election, but could, if she ends up winning, still be damaged in the primary. It's kind of an age-old story. We're seeing it here in New York as well. Cynthia Nixon and Governor Cuomo really fighting it out. Does it hurt the eventual winner on the Democratic side?
There is always that danger, right? And it could be the Christine O'Donnell situation back in Delaware in 2010, when the primaries elect somebody so far to the left or the right that they really don't appeal in the middle and the party ends up losing. I don't see that in the offing for the Democrats this year. So if I have to say, and I know Steve will disagree with me, I think this is all wishful thinking about, is there a danger of too many candidates? Because you want enthusiasm, you want energy. Democrats have that. In 2010, that kind of energy, a 6-point enthusiasm gap, got Republicans 63 seats in the House. So if you had to choose, you'd want energy and enthusiasm. Too many candidates can be a problem, but it's much better to have too much than too little.
Steve?
I don't know if it's enthusiasm or the very far left wing of the Democrat Party being fully energized. I mean, down in Louisiana, just a few days ago, Karen Peterson, the chairman of the Louisiana Democrat Party, called for the repeal of the Second Amendment. So what you see is the crazies in the Democrat Party, the real Bernie bros and the far left wingers, pulling their party far to the left and pulling it away from the traditional labor union base of the Democrat Party. I think they have a big problem. Look, the more of it we see, the better. And I think this is not just about Nancy Pelosi. It's about George Soros. It's about the people who funded Antifa. It's about the Democrat Party careening to the left. And I think that's what hurts them in November.
This is always what happens in the questioning afterwards when a party loses a big election, as they say, should we lurch further into our core beliefs or into the extreme of what our party represents, or should we try and be mainstream and be in the middle, and maybe that we could steal some from the other side? What do you think right now, Jeannie, is the formula for Democrats? Do you think it's more centrist or more activist?
For the House, it depends on the districts, and this is what we really have to keep in mind. This is a battle for the Democrats for 24 seats in the House. There are 25 seats in the House up now that Republicans hold, but that Hillary Clinton won those districts. And for that reason, you're going to see that there is a big chance that they could pick this up. And so I do think that you have to look at it as a district-by-district race, and there's not going to be a one-size-fits-all solutions. Yeah. There are some states in which, as you mentioned, Cynthia Nixon, Governor Cuomo here in New York, in which moving to the left can really help the Democrats, and there's other districts in which it won't. So I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all solution when we're talking about the House.
You mentioned something before about the core beliefs of the Democrat Party, and that's what's being defined here. What are those core beliefs? Is it the far left wing of the party that wants to repeal the Second Amendment to the Constitution? Every congressional candidate in the Democrat Party now has to answer that question, because apparently the left wing of the Democrat Party is calling for that repeal.
Let me stop you, because it's the same thing on the right. I mean, they said the same thing down in Alabama, and every time you see a change in power or you see a lost election, is the Republican Party lurching far to the right, or is it trying to appeal to more people? I mean, it seems like, go ahead.
The Republican Party is the party of conservative principles. That's defined in its platform. No matter what congressional district in, they may move a little bit side, about what those conservative principles are, but we don't change the party platform based on the district.
Let me just say there are very few conservatives happy with what hasn't gone on in Washington when Republicans have owned the Congress and the White House.
Thanks to both of you. We'll be right back.